Hi there, it's Lewis from DataRaid and welcome to Data Explained. Does your business rely heavily on successful B2B interactions? Well, you should be making data-driven decisions for your business, and to do this, you're going to need B2B data. And fortunately for you, we've created an introductory video to explain to you the basics of the foundational B2B data types. So, what is B2B data? Well, looking at B2B data, it's basically any information about a company. This could be firmographic data, which tells you the scale of the company, the length of its sales cycles, or the number of employees. It could be technographic data, which is all about information on the current technology stack at a company, so the software and technologies that it's currently using. It could be intent data, which is all about when a company is actively looking to purchase a new software or technology or something else. And B2B contacts data, which are the important decision makers who need to be contacted in order to make things happen. And finally, you've got B2B leads data, which is when you may have used one or all of these other different types of B2B data to create a nicely highly qualified lead that's going to properly drive sales to your business. Now, it's important that once we've understand an overview of what these data types are, that we look at how they interact. So as you can see from our lovely diagram, there's many different possible interactions, and you can use one or all of these various different data types. Let's take, for example, let's say you're a software company, you want to sell an accounting software. Well, your marketing team might have identified for you a nice list of potential B2B contacts. These could be names, email addresses, and phone numbers. But how much do you actually know about the accounts that those customers belong to? Well, you could therefore use some firmographic data to look more into the size of the company and the revenue, and therefore its potential budget to purchase your software. Then you could use technographic data to look into the current technology stack of the company, see if there's a gap, and therefore identify if your current software could therefore fill the gap in that existing company's technology stack. And then finally, you actually need to know if the company is looking to actively fill the gap that you've identified, and you can use ident data to do this. And then once you've used all of these different data types to enrich the data that you might have already had, you've no longer just got a random list of contacts, you've got a condensed, nice, relevant list of B2B leads. Now you know who to reach out to, when to reach out to them, and what the best measures to use to reach out to them would be. Now that's just one example. You could use any number of these potential data types. It really depends on what you want to do with the data. And this comes to the use cases for B2B data. Now, on a really grand scale, the use cases for B2B data are ABM and market analysis. When it comes to account-based marketing, your marketing team may have, as I mentioned, derived some data for you. Let's say it's some contacts. They've identified potential customers in the account. They may have then nurtured this and gathered more information and passed the information on to the sales team. Now the sales team may realize that the marketing team's done a great job, but they're just lacking a bit of information. Let's say it's something about the sales cycle of the company. Well, then they could use firmographic data to get this information. And then similarly, they could also use firmographic data to know how to personalize the communication when reaching out to the potential contacts. And then the final part of ABM, retaining customers that your sales team has already acquired. You need to make sure that your customers are happy, and you could use intent data to see if any of your current clients are actually looking for potential competitors. This could help you therefore move in and develop a new product or service to keep your account happy. And then finally, you could maybe use technographic data to look at the technographic stack of the technology stack of an existing client, identify some gaps and fill them and potentially upsell products that you already have. Moving on to market analysis, it's very important in the B2B world to have an understanding of the market in a whole. And this can give you some potential advantages. Firstly, you could find some gaps that are in the market, and then you could therefore use this information to develop new products that could fill these gaps, therefore driving you more unique business. And you could even quite sneakily identify what your competitors are doing well, identify this, and then innovate in your own to perhaps attain a portion of your competitors' market share through doing market analysis to then develop new products. Now, these are massive scale use cases. They're big investments and a lot of time for your company. So you need to make sure that when you're doing these, that you're going to do it right. And an important part of doing this right is making sure that you're using quality data. Now, the data quality when it comes to B2B data varies from data type to data type. If something goes wrong with the firmographic data, you might actually not know the company that you're properly interacting with. You're not going to be speaking on the same language. It's very different if you're talking to a startup compared to a company that might have 10,000 employees. If you've got issues with the technographic data, you might not actually be filling a gap that you think you are. Therefore, again, there'll be issues with communication. If there's an issue with the intent data, you're not going to be able to reach out at the right time. You might go in too early, you might even get in too late, and this could lead to the potential loss of a B2B lead. And of course, with B2B contact data, if the contact data is wrong, you're not going to be able to reach the person in the first place. Again, this could cost you leads and therefore potential revenue. To get an idea of more issues and how to solve these issues for the various B2B data types, be sure to check out our guides and videos on these down in the description below and on the DataRaid website. With that being said, I hope you've enjoyed our overview video for B2B data. Be sure to leave your thoughts and comments down in the comments section below and tell us what topic you would like us to cover next week. I've been Lewis from DataRaid, and I'll see you next time.